Two bodies found electrocuted in different substations. How did they get in? What happened?
They disturbed them. This one, they can kill you.
Did Paul Mashatile's VIP protection unit threaten the person responsible for recording their N1 attack? Tshidi Madia looks at the impact of EFF's decade in politics and what it means for all of us. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
A new and deadly phenomenon. Two bodies have been found in different substations in Johannesburg. It was an outage in Randburg that led to the first discovery. A body was found inside the transformer and one other in a ditch in Lenasia.
And we suspect that they are part of a group involved in vandalism of electricity infrastructure. One was found electrocuted in a ditch near Nelsfeld, Lenasia, after what looked like an attempt to basically steal high-voltage electricity copper cables.
The utility said it's deeply concerned about an increase in vandalism, particularly at its Randburg and Roodepoort substations. It said systems are battling to keep up with the winter demand, coupled with frequent theft and damage. That video, the Deputy President's complicity or not in the N1 assault by his VIP protection unit, all making headlines in and out of the courts today.
The 8 SAPS VIP protection unit officers attached to the security detail of Deputy President Paul Mashatile made their second appearance here at the Randburg Magistrates Court for the assault case. Now, the 8 men are charged with several counts of assault, causing malicious damage to property and the pointing of a firearm. This relates to an incident that took place on the 2nd of July on the sideways of the N1 highway, where members of Mashatile's security detail were filmed beating up at least 3 people for unknown reasons. Today's court proceedings were a continuation of the bail application from last week, where accused number 2 to accused number 8 submitted their affidavits to court. Except for the personal circumstances, the affidavits submitted by all of the accused are very much similar insofar that they deny having any role to play in the threatening SMS message that was allegedly sent to the person who uploaded the video to his Facebook status. The accused have also told the court that they promise not to interfere with any of the witnesses should they be released on bail. The matter has been adjourned to tomorrow, where the state will be arguing why the accused should remain in custody until the trial. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News, Randburg.
The judge in the Senzo Mayiwa trial tells defense lawyer Zandile Moshololo to toe the line. This after Moshololo put it to state witness Kaya Gatse that none of the Khumalo sisters were at Mayiwa's side after he was shot. Kelly Khumalo's neighbour was also on the stand. And Tabiseng Mokete says she was sitting in a parked car near the Khumalo house when she heard a total of 3 shots fired around the time Mayiwa was shot. She's also told the court that she saw one person flee after the first shot, followed by another 2.
He or she went past running. In fact, he looked like a male being. He had a pair of pants, lean build in terms of the physique.
So what impact has EFF's 10 years had on South Africa's politics? And what's the Red Berets' next move? Here's Tshidi Madia.
It's sometimes neither here nor there when you reflect a little bit on what they have been able to achieve, right? So it's very difficult in our current political climate to launch a party and to have it exist, let alone to carry on for 10 years and to grow it year on year, election upon election. And that is what they've managed to do so far. But I also think it's important to recognize that the EFF's emergence was an injection of energy into political mobilization that had kind of lulled out. You know, when you look at the EFF, I think you need to look at what it's been able to do in capturing the imagination and the energy. But that imagination that it's captured is that it then fails to translate to the polls. And I think that's a a question of trust and believability, and that's where the issue of the leader comes into play, is that here's a party, can we trust the faces, the voices that are at the helm of the organization? And I think the election results tell you otherwise. As the party evolves and tries to figure itself out and to sell an image to you and I, that it's worth voting for next year, that it's worth allowing it in government, there are shifts. So it's not as radical as what it says it is on paper. I think you need to pay attention to that. They've certainly made covering politics a little bit more exciting, at times tougher too, but I think for that, the fraternity, the media, the journalists, those have a responsibility to its constituency, and the citizens have to push back a little bit harder too. The politics of intimidation should not be what keeps us away from interrogating this party a little bit more.
Good news for thousands of SAA employees. Takatso Aviation says it won't be retrenching workers as it merges with the national airline. The Public Enterprises Department has welcomed the Competition Tribunal's approved acquisition of a 51% stake in SAA by the Takatso Consortium. The approval leaves Takatso and the department with critical regulatory requirements to conclude in the transaction. But Takatso says it's looking to expedite these issues.
Especially in light of the current mismatch between demand and supply that has been created by the significantly reduced scale of SAA operations in recent years, as well as the discontinuation of operations of several other airlines.
This also happened in the news today. Spain and Japan have become the first two teams to book their spots in the last 16 of the FIFA Womens World Cup, while Zambia have suffered back-to-back losses in their maiden campaign. With more from day 7 at the tournament in Australia and New Zealand, here is TK with the update.
Spain underlined their titled credentials as they claimed a 5-0 win over Zambia as they made it back-to-back 5-0 wins in this competition. La Roya now progressed to the last 16 where they joined by Japan. The other results saw Olympic champions Canada finally claiming their first win of this competition. They beat the Republic of Ireland 2-1. The defeats for Zambia and the Republic of Ireland means now they can no longer progress to the knockout rounds and they'll play one more game before heading back home. On Thursday morning, we'll see 3 games taking place, including defending champions the United States up against the Netherlands. Debutants Portugal take on fellow debutants Vietnam, while co-hosts Australia are 1 win away from booking their spot in their knockout rounds. They take on Africa's own Nigeria. Tolagile Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
We'll see you for more tomorrow. Remember to like and subscribe.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.